Hello, recon and welcome back to Combat Mission Cold War, where after a mammoth series of videos, we are going to be wrapping up the Czechmate scenario, which I'm pretty excited by, because this has been, wow, a long number of weeks in real life, and it's been quite a challenge in places. Now, the last video I did record under some real life time pressure, which led to a few less checking and a few more mistakes creeping in than I was normally comfortable with, such as charging forward with the a tank that the gun doesn't work and not checking line of sights, and yes, spending the entire episode calling my Shilkas Tunguskas. So credit to commentator that pointed out that, which of course for Tunguska is a later model, appears in I think it's mid-80s. But you do get it in Black Sea, so it's a model in the competition games, but not one we have. This is the Shilka AA. Also had a quick request for the objectives, or cover the objectives. They were very simple in this. We had a touch objective on the bridge crossing, which we've already secured, and then we have an occupy objective in this centre of town here, this green square, which means we have to eradicate the enemy forces and have at least one of our units in it. So as we stand, we are in a pretty strong position. Really, we're going to spend the next couple of minutes identifying and then rooting out the remaining American forces, and I'm hoping we've got enough time at the end just to have a quick wrap-up review and kind of chat about how the whole thing went. So first off, I need to rectify the terrible position I've got my tank in here. So could you please hunt yourself forward along this way to get that Bradley. We've got a couple of guys who are in danger. You are reversing away, and I don't know why. I guess you came under fire. Yeah, it looks like you did. I'd very much like you to... I mean, I could just... keep moving forward, that's fine. Yes, we've ended up being slightly exposed to that Bradley. Put you on a hunt command, and then between the two sides we should be able to push in and secure that Bradley. I mean, there's not many American forces left, and I think that's the other thing. I'm now in that element of the game where you feel suitably confident this is all going to get wrapped up. So there's a little bit of overconfidence creeping in, especially when you're doing a single scenario and you're not taking units forward. But I would like to try and do this with minimal further losses. So let's talk about the infantry we've got forward. We're going to disembark these guys. First off, we're just going to get them into the woods, and then in the next minute we'll kind of push them forward in this building to get some lines of sight. We've got some guys on the edge here, help provide that, and then we'll want to push in with our BRDMs to really clear out any last pockets of resistance in any buildings. Let's continue to bring forward our reserve infantry here. There we go. So we'll bring you forward the route the tank took, and then you'll duck down in there and you can deposit your squad. You are going to have to reverse out because that tank never finished its route because we realised it's defective. Bring you back this way. There you go. It's a bit of a wonky reversal order, but it'll work. Bring you round here. Good. Everything else, we had our Shilka was coming to support. Got other tanks over here. Yeah, we did have... I can't remember if I got that infantry spot which attacked our BRDM or not, but so we did get what was probably a grenade in the end. We haven't had the spot where it came from. Meanwhile, I just want to check what we can know about this infantry position. I'm hoping it's just bailed out crew. It's hard to see. It looks like an infantryman actually. Oh, headquarters unit. Okay, that's good. They are not going to have anti-vehicle weapons. Alright, so I think we're just going to crack on with the first minute. Pick up where we left off, and then we'll see what occurs. The real focus is going to be trying to get some infantry to clear out whatever remnants are in this centre tile. And seeing if we lose anything to this Bradley. Oh. That was an RPG. Ooh. And I think that was our tank being moved into an appropriate position. No. Was it this tank? Ah, it was this tank. No. What? What on earth hit you? Why can I not see who shot this Bradley? Ow! No, no, no. No tanks. Infantry showing how to get the job done. Oh, he says actually he missed that. No, I'm missing something here. Right, that's the missed shot. Oh, it is this guy. Okay, that's interesting. When we were slightly further away, the graphic didn't quite match up. Okay. Mystery solved. It was the tanks. Apologies, infantry. That was unnecessary overkill there, but that's one dead American. We've got some fire missions on the go, which we'll probably bring to an end. Oh, and we may have found... I don't think they're there. We may have found those Americans, but no, we have not. Continues to absolutely leather this building. Right, is that our shots going out? Always worth double checking. Yeah. Okay. Let's jump to the end. Done. Big red button. Oh. Oh, I can't believe we got 1 minute and they surrendered. Why didn't I just run 1 more minute in the last video? Oh, I'm sorry. I made you sit a whole week for this. Oh, do you know, if I'd recorded it sooner, I would have released sooner. Okay. Well, anyway, it's done. Apologies, this one's a bit of a shorter one from events. So yeah, Skill Elite, US Army surrender. Fantastic. So we secured both our objectives. We got our targets for inflicting damage, but we took more casualties than the bonus points were worth. They didn't get any points at all. So we lost, what's that, 88 men, which is, you know, that is not nothing, plus 4 tanks and 14 armoured vehicles. Ouch. And in return we inflicted, what's that, 88... 95 infantry casualties, so slightly more in our favour there. Same for tanks, but only 9 armoured vehicles. So it was definitely a costly push, but at the end of the day we secured our objective. So what, if anything, did we have left? So what's what, an M113? Yeah, that's fine, that's not really worth much. Crew. Crew. The infamous Bradley. Oh, and do you know, hey, look, they did. They had toes up here as well. Okay, so hey, looks like our mortar barrage up here did actually do some pretty good work. It's just that they had a Bradley as well to bring into the fray. Oh yeah, look, there's another tow team. Okay. Wow, our mortar barrage did actually fantastic work. Didn't quite knock out the second tow, because apparently he's still good to go. Used all his ammo. Ouch. And yeah. You'd still have plenty of ATGMs left. Meanwhile, and there's a couple of of these heavy machine guns down here. And the grenade launcher, which we suspected was around here somewhere, but we never really got the spot on, just lurking in these woods. Okay. I'm in my last holdout over there. So I wonder what happened to the Bradley that was in around this side that we saw at the very start of the game. Unless we must have pulled it all the way out. Not sure. But yeah, we are obviously in pretty good control of the map at the end of that. And yeah, pretty much everything's dead. So that was really interesting. I think we've had some good feedback throughout the series on potential different methods of doing it and improvements and other ways, other avenues of thought of attack. And there was someone who suggested, I both suggested kind of an infantry assault from the Soviets and also from an American player or someone who played as Americans, saying that's what they were afraid of, was a mass assault of infantry. And I think there's something to be said for about once you get, if you manage to kind of get your BTRs up to this position, as I did, rather than try and hold the ridge, just sweep through with your infantry and then push in a town. Obviously, it's a lot easier that we knowing the American positions, and had they been dug in along here with lots of MG positions, etc., etc., an infantry push might not be as advantageous. In the end, I was relatively pleased with our strategy. I mean, the key for us was really these long-range ATGMs. They got some significant amount of work done early on. Really upset that we lost the ammo truck and couldn't replenish them. That hurt a lot. Also, Holding Religion worked okay. We did take quite heavy losses in the teams here. And, both the short-range ATGMs got taken out. Maybe one or two of the light machine. Both of the self-propelled guns got taken out, as well as one or two of the light machine gun teams. So we did get hammered there eventually. And the armor in this really didn't do a whole lot. I mean, yes, in the very end, we came up and they took out. In fact, we took out one tank and a Bradley. And that might be it. Maybe this Bradley so maybe 2 Bradleys and a tank was about all our armor actually accounted for. The vast majority of our kills coming from infantry and ATGMs, which I think are a real powerhouse in this game. Obviously vulnerable, soft, squishy humans to the likes of mortar fire or heavy machine gun or any kind of heavy weaponry. But they you get them with a good line of sight, and they are such a threat to vehicles. Which I did talk about earlier. I was almost kind of scared moving my armor around because I felt that wherever you were going to move to, you're suddenly going to be in line of sight of an enemy ATGM. And especially when you look at this era and you're talking about ranges of kilometers, then actually getting a spot on something like a tow team sitting up here before they've had a go at one of your vehicles, it's really blooming difficult. How your ability to scout such large areas is certainly diminished. But this map was a whole lot of fun. Had me pulling my hair out in part. In fact, it took me, about 7 weeks to get across the bridge. Just kind of testament to that. And it was costly, and there was I think the American defense was set up pretty well. Even that early Bradley set up here, just to give that kind of almost enfilading ATGM fire as we try to push through the valley, and even just these two guys set up dominating our own deployment zone was tricky. And I could have gone a whole lot worse, because and it's probably a fallacy I need to get out of, but I always when I first start a game in CM, I always feel like the area immediate to my deployment zone is safe, and I've got no reason to think that because I've been shot at in my deployment zone before, and I do fall into that fallacy. So I could easily have just charged forward with a couple of a couple of BTRs, some scouts, whatever, thinking that's fine, I'll make a break and then whatever, and I've lost lots and lots of infantry and vehicles if my terrain analysis of the start hadn't picked up as a potential threat. And my analysis of things is by no means perfect, so I'm just fortunate that in this scenario I managed to correctly identify a potential threat. But okay, it's only going to be about 50 minutes, but I'm just going to wrap up there. You don't need to sit and hear me blithering about things. I appreciate the comments people have left thus far. If anyone else has any other experiences on this scenario, especially playing as the Soviets had done it differently, then it'd be great to hear about that. And if not, no matter. Next week I will move on to something new. Next scenario, I'm interested in probably maybe a slightly smaller map. This map has been massive, and although it's been interesting, I maybe want something where I'm paying a little more attention to individual kind of unit positioning and stuff, but I still want to be on a fairly large scale. So have a look through the scenario, see what kind of fits that kind of bill. Yeah, probably something a bit short. That's what I was going for. I don't want to do another kind of 10-week thing off the bat. But yeah, so sorry if this ended up being a super short video with only 1 minute of actual action. I hope you have enjoyed it and got something out of it. And yeah, as ever, I'll catch you all in the next one.